Let's talk about the 5 fantasy tropes that I will eat up every time. Delicious. And I'm going to give you a couple recommendations for books in each one. So, first, we have Found Family. I think there's nothing cuter than a nice, epic fantasy adventure. And they just come out with this incredible bond, not romantic. The Hobbit is a really good example of that. Legendborn has a great example of that. Amazing. Next, magic systems that actually have structure and consequences to them. This isn't really a trope, but it's definitely a subsection of fantasy, I would say. There are some that are just not very well defined, and there are some that are very well defined. Um, for me, Brandon Sanderson usually has some pretty well defined magic systems. His develop over several books, however, and you learn new things about the way that the magic systems work. But I do think that the consequences and the structure of the system is very well defined. Another that is on my TBR that I have not read yet, but I've heard about the magic system is The Unbroken. That one I'm really looking forward to reading. Next, we have like legacy powers or inherited powers. If you have your parent dies and then the power goes to you, or you find a family heirloom and you put it on and that's how you gain the power. Things like that, I really love. For me, this would be something like Jade City, where even though you can get your Jade from defeating other people in battle and stuff, a lot of the times it's an heirloom or something like that that stays within families that the magic can get bigger and it's like generational. I think I love that system the most when it's combined with a marginalized group that normally doesn't have generational wealth. So if you put that system in with like formerly enslaved people and it's fresh after and they're just making their way in the world and there's an inherited system of magic that takes place right in that little sweet spot. Oh, love it. The next trope is power itself, or like the organizational system itself being like the bad guy that you're fighting against. So, like, Parable of the Sower is a good example of this. And I love that because at the end of the day, capitalism is the problem. At the end of the day, it's the organization. And last, my favorite one is going to be chosen one, but you're chosen for like a shit job. So for me, a good example of that is like the Scythe series of, you're chosen, but you've got to kill people every day. And so if you're not a complete sociopath, that's kind of a shitty job, but it's in order to keep like the world. I guess I can see it, but I typically love books like that. So, what are your favorite fantasy tropes? Are mine like just completely out there and nobody would agree with these? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.